Second set up here. Perfect. This on the side so we can see chat. Here in a second. See how it looks like on my screen, so you see it's pretty clear. Okay, testing, 1, 2, 3. 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 Alright, cool. So it works pretty good. Try to confirm that. Leave that on the side there. All right, chat. How are we doing today, man? Me personally, I'm doing all right, you know. But one crazy thing that I found out today, apparently, is there's such a thing as 8-dimensional audio. Like I never knew this existed, but apparently, right? You can like have your headphones, right, and it can like play sounds like they feel like they're outside the headphones. Like I'm about to show y'all real quick, but it's insane, bro. Like it. Okay, so. It's called like Luigi's Barbershop, right? And so essentially what happens in Luigi's Barbershop, whatever it is, it's like the dude's like trying to cut your hair, right? And so I'm listening to this. I'm like, no way I'm actually about to feel a sensation from this virtual barbershop. No way, right? And it feels like as soon as he's snipping my hair, it feels like he's actually snipping. I'm like, what the hell is this, man? Like, I gotta show y'all for a second, bro, but it's insane, dude. 8D audio knocking noise. Sick. But like, dude, it's genuinely crazy, man. I'm about to play it, and for those of y'all who have headphones, listen real close. Let me shut myself up real quick. Y'all hear that? It's literally in the sides, bro. Like, it's outside of my headphone. I'm thinking, bro, my headphones are buns, because, like, you know how y'all have, like, those headphones where, like, one side only plays at one time, and the other side, like, only plays? Like, for me, right, whenever I have my headphones, I have to angle it, like, at a perfect angle for it to work, which is so annoying, man. I just hate it so much. Like, I generally, like, the moment I get monetized on YouTube, the first thing I'm buying is, like, new headphones, bro. 100%. Okay, but on a side note, though, y'all ever had a burger, but instead of actually having burger patties, y'all ate it on like whole wheat, bro? Because that had to happen to me, bro. Because I was looking in the fridge, I was like, hold up, why is there no burger patties, but we just have like the freaking the meat? Like, what is this, you know? I'm like, all right, and then you know my sister's like, hey, just use the whole wheat bread. I'm like, what do you mean? Just use the whole wheat bread. I'm like, I put it on, and low-key, it does not taste bad. I'm thinking that's a top 10 struggle meal right there, bro. Burgers, but without the burger patties and whole wheat bread instead. That is low-key method, bro. I'm telling y'all. Hold on, let me think. Well, what was I gonna say? Something about burgers. Yeah, but I mean, anyways, yeah, I was eating some burger patties, doing some struggle meal, and then I was heading off to school, right? After school, I went to go do a little run, about 5 miles, you know, and I was technically supposed to do a tempo as well, but you know, we don't really have to worry about that. We don't really gotta tell nobody that I was supposed to be doing that and I didn't do it, you know? Right? Okay, but anyways, I do that. I do a little run. On Saturday comes up, supposed to do the tempo, all that, doesn't happen. I didn't even lift that day, man, so I'm a little bummed out because, you know, I'm starting to lose my muscles. I'm starting to atrophy a little bit, you know what I mean? Like, you know that one scene with the Straw Hats, right, where where Luffy or whatever, he faces against the one guy, Crocodile, right? And, like, he literally shrivels up, and then he drinks water, and then he gets buff. That's not about to be me. When I take creatine, that's about to be me. I'm about to come back, bro. I'm about to come back. Look, y'all see this right here? This is just a start. In 2-3 months, bro, I'm about to be like, it's about to be like this. It's about to be huge. Okay. Now, another thing I gotta tell y'all, bro, is how I even set this whole setup up. Because as y'all can see, bro, you can't see my background no more, right? And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do this just because, like, I feel like my background is always kind of messy, it's always kind of dirty. You know what I mean? I don't feel like it fits with like my whole, you know, my whole vibe. So like, let me switch it up. So I went up, and what I did is I took two chairs. So like, okay, if you can imagine behind this, there's like a couch and a couch, right? So I took one cushion right here, one cushion right here, and then I stacked them on top of the chairs, right? And then over top of that chair, I put like a blanket, like a white blanket around it, right? And so I'm a little stressed that this thing can fall at any moment. Because you can imagine, whenever I die in Minecraft Hardcore, bro, I crash out. Right? So if I crash out too bad, I come around, this whole thing is breaking. I'm telling y'all. Like, I might actually film a short about how I set this whole thing up and, like, how my setup looks like. Because I actually have 3 monitors right now, right? But I'm only using 2 right now. Because my third one's VGA. I don't have a VGA cable, so, yeah. But, yeah, let me tell you how I even got the money to buy this setup. Because, you know, me as, like, a little broke man, I'm not rich, I'm not wealthy, I don't got money, right? So what I ended up doing, right, is one day I got the chance with one of my friends to go out and start shoveling snow, right? So let me tell you what I did, bro. So for 15 hours across 2 days, I was shoveling away, dude. Like, I'm telling you, it's an exhaustion I've never felt in my life. It's like I felt like tired, like, but I felt like to my bone. Like, you know, after I run, I usually don't feel like the same way. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It's not the same as like running fatigue. It's like different. Like, and to me, like, when I realized that, it brought me like a new profound sense of respect for the people out here who do like blue collar work or whatever. Like, you know, what do they call hard work? It's blue collar, right? I think it's blue collar, yeah. Yeah, but blue collar work, bro. I respect the hell out of those workers, bro. Because you can imagine, they have to be going through that grind every single day, dude. It's insane to me how people are capable of doing that, right? But anyways, let me not get sidetracked, right? So I ended up shoveling 15 hours. We ended up making a total of, I think it was like $510. I get like 250. My friend, he gets 230. My other friend, he gets 50. Because how it worked, right, is there was 3 of us on one driveway. It was me, my brother, and my friend. We got one of the driveways done. My brother wanted a cut, right? And so I ended up just giving him $50, told him to slide with it, take it, that's good, right? And I gave my friend 230 and me 250 because look, how it worked is I was also a part of that first job, but my friend, he hadn't shown up till later. So him and my brother, they split some of the cash for that first job, right? But my brother never ended up showing up on the other jobs because he had to go somewhere, whatever, right? So I ended up finishing all that, make my 250. Then what I do, because I realized 250 is still not enough to like get the money I need for like a PC setup, right? So what I end up doing is it's a little stupid. I mean, you could say that. I end up buying 4 Dell computers, fixing them up, and selling them off, right? So I keep doing this, I keep repeating this, and then I'm realizing, yo, I'm low-key not making any money at all because my profit margins are just so low, right? Because every PC I would sell, I would only get $10, which is ridiculous low for PCs, right? Because what I would do, I'll buy the PCs for, I think, I don't remember, it was like $15 a piece, maybe? No. Yeah, $15 a piece. I would get the hard drives, the RAM, and everything for them, and it would cost me like $40 total for the PC, right? And then I would sell them for 50. So I'm like, ooh, I'm only making $10, right? And so I'm like, I got to get out of this business as quick as I can, right? So I end up doing that. I end up selling all 4 of them. And what does my dumb ass do? Yes. I go out and buy another 10 PCs because I'm like, I'm calling my friend, I'm shaking, I'm like, bro, do I do it? Do I not do it? He's telling me, don't do it. I'm like, I gotta risk it. I gotta go big or go home, right? So I buy 10 PCs, and guess how many I sell, bro? I sell only like, what, 6 PCs. I sell only 6 other PCs, bro. And I'm left with a huge ass pile of Dells that I have no use for, bro. I dead ass have 7 computers I don't use for anything, bro. So I'm like, what the hell do I do with these, right? Like, I don't know if y'all are watching that one short I posted earlier today. Like in the background, you can see like the big PCs I have in the back. Dude, those are all my PCs, bro. I just genuinely don't know what to do with them. I might do a giveaway with them. I might do, genuinely. Like if one of y'all genuinely want these, bro, just like, comment, subscribe, and I'll give it to you, bro. Cause I have no use for them, bro. Like, what am I supposed to do with 8 PCs, bro? Nothing. So yeah, I end up doing all that, yada yada yada. And I'm like, damn, I still kind of need more money, right? So I go out, I go do some lawn mowing. Long story short, that does not work out that very good, because we only end up getting one person who says yeah, and he does it out of pity. He's like, you know what? I used to do this back in the day. I respect your hustle. I'll pay for it. And yeah, I end up only getting $20. So yeah, it was kind of a bummer. It's kind of bad. That's whatever. That's all right. But yeah, I end up spending all the money I have to buy a PC, and I didn't assemble it probably the best because I left the IO shield out. Like, because I never knew this, right? But when you're setting up a PC, you always have to put the IO shield first before you put the motherboard. And so I set up the whole motherboard, I set up the whole PC, and then ChatGPT tells me, yeah, make sure you put the IO shield first. All right, after I do all that, bro. After I do all that, it tells me. All right, like I'm trying not to cuss there, so I control myself. I'm happy I did that. But after I do all that work, it wants to tell me. Relax, gotta relax. So yeah, so I end up getting the PC all set up, and then I'm like, bet I can low-key get back into streaming and editing and all that. Because let me tell y'all, bro, when I used to edit on my old Mac, oh my goodness, the pain of lag, bro. Like I would generally be like this close, like losing my temper and crashing out, bro. Like I think that genuinely developed patience in me that I never thought I had, dude. Because it would take 10 minutes, I kid you not, to load a single frame. Literally. So whenever I was making that one Minecraft video, bro, I tried to cut it short. I was like, yo, there's no way I can animate all this shit, right? So that's why you see only the first 2 to 3 minutes that's animation. The rest of it, there's not. Because I just couldn't handle it. I'm like, you're telling me I have to wait 5-10 minutes just to register a minute. Or like a second of a freaking video. I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore. I just can't handle it. So I get all that done, publish the video. It actually does decent. But for the amount of work I put in, I'm like, yo, that's ridiculous that I only got 400 views for the amount of work I put in. Like one video I was surprised that did so well was the Ryan Trahan video. I'm like, how the hell did that get 7,000 views? And I swear that shit was buns, bro. I'm telling y'all. I was reacting to like an AI video of Ryan Trahan. I'm like, yo, this was not the top tier quality I could be getting, right? So I ended up reacting to the video. I ended up posting it. And I'm like, somehow it gets 7K views. So I'm generally confused on how the hell the YouTube algorithm works, right? Because I end up doing all these streams, everything. And some streams I think will do ass, randomly pop off. And the streams I think will do good just are buns. So I think every single day for me is like opposite day. Like, I'm not kidding. I'm like my fate is so reversed, you know? Yeah, okay. I'm gonna stop yapping. But let me just go ahead and get into the stream. Sorry about yapping a lot, boys. But yeah, let's get into it. I try to yap about my day a little bit there. See if I can line this up. Try to get it perfect because I can't really see it that well. Smidge. Perfect. Okay, that's decent. That's the best I'm gonna get from a webcam. If any of y'all know like how to like fix the issues with like whenever you're like making clips, like it uses that small webcam so it makes the quality blurry. Like if any of y'all could tell me how to fix that, that'd be much appreciated. But yeah, it's just be annoying for me. Alright, yeah, let's actually get into it. I don't know if I want to play Minecraft first or if I want to react to some videos, but I don't know. I'm probably just gonna react to it. Okay, I'm not gonna react to this because I've already been reacting to some other stream. Let's just see. Why $2 trillion donations a year? Don't want to watch that video. It does have Epstein on it, so you know, I could get in a lot of trouble for watching a video with Epstein, so I might just skip that. Do animals know they
Right
exist?
now, there's a dog lying on a couch somewhere, staring at the wall.
You know, I've always wondered that. Like, because I was taking a philosophy class, right? And apparently, what consciousness means is like your ability to be self-aware, to know that you are, you know? It's like know that you exist, right? So I've always wondered, do animals like know they exist? Like, because we would never be able to know, because we couldn't just ask, we couldn't just go up to a dog and be like, hey, do you know you exist? And for me, I think there's a chance that they do. Because y'all ever seen that one video with the one dog where the dog was like pressing the buttons and he's like, I am human. Why am I not human? And it would just be so depressed and be looking at itself in the mirror and it'd be saying all this. And at first it was just like a normal dog, right? And then over time it got worse and worse and worse, right? So I don't know. That's making me question things like do dogs know they exist? Does any animals know they exist? And there's been many cases of this in nature, like with like dolphins or whatever. Like they're smart enough to like know like the difference between humans, like know like who's in their pack and all that, right? So I don't know. But let's get in the video.
And if you asked its owner what it's thinking about, they'd probably say something like nothing, or food, or squirrels. But what if that's wrong? What if behind
Exactly, because we couldn't just directly ask the animals what they're thinking of, right? Because they're just gonna go based off what their primal desires are, you know? Like that's the only thing we can interpret from that.
those eyes there's something looking back? What if that dog knows, on some level, that it exists? Or, and this is the question that should actually keep you up at night, what if it doesn't? What if you are the only kind of thing in the entire universe that knows it's alive? In 1970, a psychologist named Gordon Gallup Jr. came up with what is still considered the gold standard test for self-awareness in animals.
Yeah, I remember the mirror test. Apparently, the mirror test is essentially right when you place a mirror in front of an animal, right, or a person or something, right, and it reacts in a way that it knows that it's self-aware, right? Like for example, right, me and my friend in the mirror every day, I'd be like combing my hair, I'll be like fixing it, and I'd be trying to make it look nice, right? Because I know that I exist. I want to have a good image of myself because I can see myself. I can interpret that this is me, right? And if an animal were to react in that same way, we could then conclude that this animal is self-aware. Right? And I remember I was in class one day and my teacher brought that up. He was like, hey, da da da, what's his name? Every day in the mirror, you're doing this. That's how we know that you exist or that you know you're self-aware.
It's called the mirror test. While it's unconscious, you put a small mark somewhere on its body. A dot of paint on its forehead, a sticker on its ear. Somewhere it can only see in a mirror, not by looking down. Then you put it in front of a mirror and watch what happens. Most animals see their reflection and think it's another animal. They posture, they bark, they try to scare it off. Eventually they get bored and walk away, never once understanding that the thing they were threatening was themselves. But a handful of animals do something different. They see the mark. They look at the mirror. They look back at themselves. And they reach up and touch the mark on their own body. They understand that the reflection is them. The animals that pass?
But does understanding that the reflection is yourself necessarily necessitate that the animal is self-aware? Or does understanding that the reflection is there and that it is you just mean that you are aware enough to understand who you are? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I was going with there, but like if y'all get what I was trying to say, y'all know what I mean. Like I was trying to sound like a philosopher, like Mr. Socrates or something, bro.
Chimpanzees, bonobos, orangutans, gorillas, but only occasionally. Dolphins, orca whales, elephants, and one bird, the Eurasian magpie, a crow-sized creature with a brain.
Yeah, I never actually knew this, but elephants are actually super intelligent. Like, there's this one elephant, I don't know if it was called Dumbo or whatever it was, right? But it can actually like know how to paint. Like, it was actually such a great artist. Like, I seen his paintings, it was insane. It was like it drew a whole tree just from looking at it. Like, wow. I know some people out there could not draw for their life. And you know, I mean, that's kind of like self-conclusionary. What is self-conclusionary? Yeah, but anyways, like I was saying, right? it's kind of like self-explanatory. Because think about it, elephants are so big, their brains are humongous, bro. So like it's surprising to me that they just don't like they're not like the smartest animals alive. Like that's what generally does not surprise me. It surprises me. How are humans the smartest animals alive? Like, how do we just become the most intelligent animals or the intelligent creatures, you know? Or intelligent beings, I guess. I feel like I know how, but everybody has their own opinions.
Brain the size of your thumb that apparently knows what it looks like. The animals that fail, dogs, cats, almost every other mammal on Earth, including, for the first 2 years of their cats, that apparently knows Eurasian magpie, a crow-sized creature with a brain the size of your thumb that apparently knows what it looks like. The animals that fail, dogs, cats, almost every other mammal on Earth, including, for the first 2 years of their lives, human babies. Now here's where it gets complicated, because a lot of scientists think the mirror test is a terrible way to measure self-awareness. Dogs, for example, live in a world built almost entirely on smell, not sight. Asking a dog to recognize itself in a mirror might be like asking you to identify.
Yeah, that's fair, because people have different senses of, like, perception. Like, there are certain animals that can see in, like, different, like, wavelengths of light, right? So it's like you could put up an image that's like ultra red or infrared, we would not be able to see or detect it at all. And like falcons or whatever, they could be able to see it. So I think what they're trying to say here is like it's as if you were looking at something, but you just couldn't detect it was there in the first place. And that's why it's a bad test. Simply because you can't detect that certain type of thing.
Yourself from a recording of your own heartbeat. The format of the test is wrong, not the dog. In 2017, a researcher named Alexandra Horowitz modified the test. Instead of a mirror, she gave dogs a scent version, their own urine, altered urine, and completely foreign urine, and watched which one they spent the most time investigating. Dogs spent significantly more time with the altered version of their own scent. They noticed something about themselves had changed. By their own rules, in their own sensory world, dogs may know exactly who they are. But knowing who you are is different from knowing that you are. There's a distinction philosophers have been arguing about for centuries. It's the difference between being a self and knowing you're a self. Between having experiences and knowing you have experiences. There's a word for this. Metacognition. Thinking about your own thinking. Being aware of your own awareness. It's what you're doing right now, actually. You're not just reading these words. You know that you're reading these words. You can zoom out from yourself and observe yourself from the outside. That's the question. Can animals do that? And the answer, increasingly, is yes, but it's messier than anyone expected. In 2007, researchers at the University of Georgia ran an experiment on rhesus monkeys. They gave the monkeys a memory test, and after each question gave them a choice. Take a hard test worth...
Yeah, they just gave monkeys paper and pencil and told them to take a test, bro. Like, that's so funny, bro. Like, I mean, whoever's making this video, bro, like, you couldn't have done, like showing, like, an actual example of, like, the monkeys taking, like, a test. You know, with, like an actual screen, like, them tapping it. Because I actually seen a YouTuber, right? You know what that reminds me of? There was actually a YouTuber who actually trained a monkey to beat Minecraft by getting to tap on the screen and giving it treats. So, monkeys are actually pretty intelligent. You know? Apparently, I never knew this, but apparently people are part of the primate category. Like, apparently we're also monkeys too, you know? So, I mean, when Frieza said, like, that Kakarot was a monkey, I wasn't necessarily wrong. But wait, but Kakarot's like a Saiyan, though, so that's not what I'm getting. Like, how can he be a monkey if he's a Saiyan? You know?
More points, or take an easy test worth fewer. The monkeys consistently chose easier questions when they were uncertain of the answer, harder questions when they felt confident. They weren't just answering questions, they were evaluating how well they knew the answer before they gave it. That's metacognition. That's an animal thinking about its own thinking. And it doesn't stop at monkeys. Rats have been shown to opt out of tests they haven't studied for, choosing a smaller guaranteed reward over gambling on a question they're not sure about.
Wait, so if they know that they exist, why don't they give us a sign that they know that they exist? Like, think about that for a second. If animals know they exist, why haven't they found a way to tell us that they know that they exist. Because look, think about it. If you were an animal and you saw people walking around talking like knowing they exist, right? And you knew for sure that they knew they existed, you would go up and you would do something that wouldn't be normal of a normal animal that didn't know it didn't exist.
Pigeons can report their own memory failures. Dolphins have been observed hesitating before answering in a way that mirrors human uncertainty. These animals aren't just reacting to the world. They're modeling their own internal states. They know when they know something. They know when they don't. But here's what science still can't crack. All of that, the mirror recognition, the metacognition, the self-modeling, it's all behavioral. We can watch what animals do. We cannot get inside what they feel. There's a concept philosophers call qualia. The raw, subjective...
Wait, if I remember correctly, there's the qualia, and there's another thing. I forgot what it was, bro. It's like I'm trying to remember back from my philosophy class. So like the cookie cutter thing. And like you can only see through like a lens that's already been cut. So like you have like the knowledge. Hold on. Okay. So the way you see the world might not actually be how the world is. But we can logically assume that because we have survived up to this point, it's pretty close to how the actual world is. Okay. I know this sounds like it's off topic, but it's on the topic. Trust me. I just forgot what qualia meant. But essentially, I think qualia is like the actual world. And the other thing is like the way we perceive the world.
Texture of experience, the specific redness of red, the particular pain of a paper cut, the feeling of being you.
Okay, never mind. So qualia is how we perceive the world.
Right now, in this moment. Is there something it feels like to be a dog? Or is the dog just running biological software, processing inputs, producing outputs, with nobody home? The
You know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of the Turing experiment, right? Turing essentially said, like Alan Turing or whoever it was, right? I don't remember who it was. But there was a guy who made like a thing that counteracted against Turing's saying, which is like that if like an algorithm can pass the Turing test, that it's like sentient, like it's like self-aware, right? And so the test essentially goes like this, right? You give I can't remember how it went, right? But I'll just say how the counter argument went. You give like an AI or whatever, like you give it a paper, right? And you tell it to translate this paper into another thing, right? And so it takes this one input and it takes this output. And because it was able to do that, apparently it's self-aware. I forgot, bro. Actually, you know, I'm looking up the Turing test because I can't remember this from my life, bro. Like my memory's so bad, dude. I might genuinely have Alzheimer's or something, man. Because why the hell can I not remember what we were talking about like 2 months ago? Black experiment about mathematician on Turing, 1950. The interrogator, a human judge who asked text-based questions. Okay. So I remember now. The interrogator, whatever, he asks a person one question. He asks an AI another question, right? But he can't know who the person and who the AI is, right? And so he both asks them questions at the same time, right? And if they both produce human-like results, it can be concluded that the AI is able to exhibit intelligent behavior, right? And so there was a guy who made a criticism of it, right? And his critic was like, the machine could just be taking inputs and outputs, right? And it could just be using an algorithm. Essentially, it could take one thing and just turn it into another thing, right? And it doesn't actually know what's going on in between. It's just following a set of code.
Philosopher Thomas Nagel made this famous in a 1974 paper with one of the greatest titles in academic history, What Is It Like to Be a Bat? His argument was simple and devastating. Bats navigate by echolocation. They experience the world as a landscape of sound reflections that we literally cannot imagine, and no matter how much we study bat brains and bat behavior, we will never know what it feels like to be one. The inner experience is inaccessible, and if we can't know what it's like to be a bat, how do we know there's anything it's like to be anything other than us? Some scientists think we're massively underestimating animals. In 2012, a group of neuroscientists gathered at Cambridge University and signed what became known as the Cambridge Declaration on Consciousness. Their conclusion: the neurological structures that produce consciousness in humans are not unique to humans. Birds and mammals, and possibly other creatures, possess the same neural substrates for conscious states. In plain English, the hardware that runs consciousness in your brain exists in their brains too. The lights, they argued, are probably on. Frans de Waal, one of the world's leading primatologists, spent decades watching chimpanzees and argued that the question of whether animals have inner lives was almost backwards. We should be shocked, he said, if they didn't. Evolution doesn't tend to invent something from scratch. Consciousness almost certainly evolved gradually, just like legs, like eyes, like lungs, which means it probably exists on a spectrum, and we are not at one end of it and everything else at the other. We're all somewhere along the same line. And then there's the one piece of evidence that's hardest to explain.
But so do certain animals have less consciousness and certain animals have more consciousness? So consciousness is in reality is a spectrum and not like a pinpoint thing. Like this is the line between consciousness and the line between non-consciousness. Okay, that's interesting.
Explain away. Grief. In 2018, a killer whale named Tahlequah lost her calf. The baby died shortly after birth, and for 17 days, Tahlequah carried the body of her dead calf on her head as she swam. 17 days, across more than 1,000 miles of ocean. The rest of her pod took turns helping her carry it when she got tired. Scientists call.
Wait, how do they notice though? Like, did they like have like a camera guy like following the orcas or whatever and like analyzing it, or like did they have like some sort of tracking technology, or how do they know you go 1,000 miles? Like what did they do? Like who are the scientists behind this? I'm actually about to look this up. Why can't I get it full screen? Orca, sad, about, kid, dying, goes, okay, how did they figure to continuous record observation? Okay, so they did actually have a cameraman following the orca. So they had like a whole ocean crew going around. So I was like, how the hell would they track the orca if they didn't do that? Alright, cool. Let's get back to the video. So sorry if I keep interrupting y'all. I'm just actually interested in this topic.
Called it a tour of grief, the longest recorded in any non-human species, and no one had a clean behavioral explanation for it. It wasn't about survival. It wasn't about feeding. There was no evolutionary advantage to carrying a dead body for over 2 weeks across open ocean, except that maybe she knew her calf was gone and couldn't let go. If that's not the behavior of a creature that knows something existed and now doesn't, what is? So where does that leave us? The science says, yes, some animals can recognize themselves. Yes, they can think about their own thinking. Yes, they feel something, probably. But the innermost question, the one you actually want answered, does the dog lying on the couch know it's alive? That one we still can't fully reach. Here's what we do know. The more closely we look at animals, the more the gap narrows. Every decade of research closes the distance a little more. Abilities we once thought were uniquely human, language, tool use, culture, mourning, self-recognition, keep turning up in other species.
Look, here's the one unique thing about humans. Humans have all these traits in one animal. All these other animals, they all individually have these traits, but they're not all connected into one thing. So it's the connection of a vast majority of traits that makes humans special. It's their generalization, in a sense. Because it's super hard to get generalization in anything. Everything in the environment always wants to specialize in one thing, because specialization usually leads to the most benefit.
The wall between us and them has been getting shorter for as long as we've been studying them, which raises an uncomfortable question. If we've been wrong this whole time, if animals do exist in some meaningful sense, if there's something it's like to be them, if they feel and grieve and know themselves, then the way we treat them isn't just an ethical question. It's something we've been getting wrong for all of human history, and the only reason we got away with it this long is because we couldn't ask them. There's a chimpanzee named Washoe who, in 1966, became the first non-human animal to learn American Sign Language. She learned over 350 signs. She taught some of them to her son. One day, a researcher who had been gone for a long time came back to visit.
Yeah, to me, I think it's pretty insane that monkeys can learn sign language and can actually communicate with people. Like that's like insane. Like that blows my mind. To think that another animal has the capacity to talk and understand is just insane. Even on a basic level.
Washoe hadn't seen her in months. When Washoe saw her, she signed, "Cry." Then she pointed at the researcher's eyes. "Cry." She wanted to know why the researcher wasn't crying, why she wasn't as moved as Washoe was. Whether or not Washoe understood her own existence, she understood yours. Maybe that's where it starts.
Imagine
That was such an insane video. What was that guy's name? Quanta, yeah. Sub up to Quanta, bro. Quanta's just that guy, man. W animation, W video quality. Let's get into this video though. Why $2 trillion vanishes every year. You might have to be a little careful about this one because I see Epstein on the title, so my hands are a little shaky. I can't be saying the wrong things out here, man. Because you never know. I might go missing. I might say I'm suicidal.
you just robbed a bank. Congratulations! You're holding $2 million in cash. There's just one tiny problem.
Bro, what's with it in all these videos of this type of animation? There's no way this is all my like For You page. Cause I'll just pick a random video, look at the thumbnails, and this is how they look. They look pretty good, and I'll like click on it. This is the type of animation I see. Like I don't mind it, but I'm saying like, can we like switch up the animation style a little bit? Like, come on, bro.
You can't spend it. Not on a house, not on a car, not even on a really nice dinner. Because the second you try to buy...
Well, because it would leave a paper trail of like everything you did. You know, I've always wondered, how do paper trails work? Like, how does the government know you spent cash money? Like, I know how online transactions would work because the bank keeps like a note of that, keeps like actual log of all your online transactions, but I just don't get how paper money can be tracked.
anything significant, someone's going to ask, hey, where'd you bet all this money? And I found it is not going to cut it. This right here is the criminal's oldest headache. And the solution they came up with is so clever, so brazen, and so widely used, it's almost beautiful. They call it money laundering. And today, we're going to find out exactly how it works. First,
Oh, because they're trying to make the dirty money into clean money so they can have like an actual explanation for how they got it. And they can actually spend the money.
what even is dirty money? Before we talk about washing money, let's talk about why it's dirty in the first place. Dirty money is just money that came from illegal activity. Drug sales, fraud, corruption, bribery, tax evasion, whatever it is, the government didn't get their cut, and you definitely don't want them finding out. The problem is that money leaves a trail. Every time money moves through a bank, an investment, a purchase, it leaves a footprint, and investigators follow footprints. So the goal of money laundering is simple. Take money that screams, I'm from a crime, and turn it into money that whispers, I'm totally normal, please don't look at me. That's it. That's the whole game. Money laundering has three
So it's actually about to explain to us how to money launder. Oh, I'm surprised this video is still up, but alright, let's just figure out how to money launder, guys, because not like I'll ever be doing that in the future.
classic stages. Stage 1, placement. This is the riskiest stage. You have a pile of physical cash and you need to get it into the financial system without anyone asking questions. Think about it. If you walk into a bank with a duffel bag containing $800,000 in small bills, the teller is going to have some questions. Possibly the FBI is also going to have some questions shortly after. So criminals get creative. The classic method? Smurfing. No, not the little blue guys.
That when you deposit like a lot of like small deposits, like 5K, 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 until it adds up to 8,000. I don't know. I feel like that would be suspicious too, you know?
Smurfing is when you break your giant pile of cash into dozens of small deposits.
Yo, I'm actually predicting it. I'm predicting it every single time. I promise you I did not pre-watch this. I promise you I did not pre-watch this. This is not a pre-watch.
each one carefully
No
just
way.
under the amount that triggers automatic bank reporting. In the US, that threshold is $10,000, so you'd make deposits of $9,800, $9,500, $9,750, spread across multiple banks, multiple accounts, multiple days. Sometimes they literally hire people, called Smurfs, to physically go back.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Because if you do it at one bank, at a certain point, they'd be like, that's a little weird. Like, why are you specifically putting this amount of money in? You know what I mean? Like every single month, they'd be like, how the hell are you getting this money? At a certain point. So it's good that they're switching it up, like different banks. Like it's not good that they're doing the crime that they're doing, but it's smart that they're like putting it in a bunch of different banks.
Bank to bank making deposits. It's tedious, it's slow, and it's honestly kind of a boring job for a life of crime. Another method, cash-intensive businesses. You buy or start something like a restaurant, car wash, or bar that handles lots of cash daily. It's hard to check if their sales are real. Mix your dirty money with legit earnings, pump up the numbers, like claiming 400 fake customers, and deposit it all as normal business cash. Stage 2. Layering. Okay, the money's in the system. Now you need to make sure no one can trace it back to you. This is where it gets elegant, or ridiculous, depending on your perspective. The goal of layering is to move money around so many times through.
Yeah, this reminds me of the one movie Shawshank Redemption, where Andy, like, he gets a job from the prison warden to like turn all his dirty money and his bribes that he took from like the other companies and the officials, because he would use like the slave labor from the people to make money, with the prisoners to make money, right? And so he would take money from like the business owners to make him stop, right? And so what he had Andy do is he had Andy do all these things right here that they're talking about in the video. But apparently, Andy, he had a guy, which I'm going to spoil a little bit, who didn't exist in reality, called Randall Stevens. And Randall Stevens existed only on paper in a bunch of these different banks, right? And so what he ends up doing is, it's so funny, he ends up like essentially fucking the warden, right? Because he grabs all the money, he dips, and then he puts the deposit. He says, hey, this guy's who I was laundering for, go get him. In the deposit note, and he gets cooked. And the warden was like, how the hell did this guy beat me?
So many accounts across so many countries that investigators eventually give up. You're building a paper trail that goes nowhere, on purpose. Wire money from Bank A in Country 1 to a shell company in Country 2, which loans it to another shell company in Country 3, which invests it in Country 4, which.
I'm assuming layering just makes it so it takes investigators a longer time to figure out where the money actually originated from, right? Because how would that like remove like who it actually originated from? Like, wouldn't that just create extra steps to like the origin?
sends dividends back to a personal account in Country 1. After 5 or 6 moves like this, even trained financial investigators lose the thread, and that's the whole point. Shell companies are very useful for this. A shell company is a company that exists legally on paper, but does basically nothing in real life. No employees, no products, no office, just a name, an address, and a bank account. In places like the British Virgin Islands, the Cayman Islands, or Delaware, yes, Delaware, right there in the good old United States of America, you can create a shell company for a few $100s, and the real owner's name doesn't have to appear anywhere public. So if investigators try to figure out who owns the money, they find a company, which is owned by another company, which is owned by a trust, which is managed by a lawyer, bound by attorney-client privilege, in a country with strict bank secrecy laws. Congratulations, you've hit a wall. Stage 3. Integration. This is the finish line. The money's been placed into the system. It's been layered beyond recognition. Now it comes back to you, clean, legitimate, ready to spend on a yacht or a penthouse.
Is that Eisenberg? No way. He had Walter White on here. I didn't even notice that the whole time. All right, bro. Get on you, man. Some mafia member too.
Now it comes back to you, clean, legitimate, ready to spend on a yacht or a penthouse or just a very relaxing retirement.
Okay, so if they do all this and all this really works in reality, then how do they still end up getting caught by the police for money laundering?
Here are some popular tricks criminals use. The first is real estate. Buy a high-end condo in Miami or London through a fake company. Hold it for a year, then sell. Boom, your Tash is now profit from a property deal. Cities are full of empty luxury flats owned by these mystery companies. Bad for renters, great for crooks. Third is art. A painting sells for $50 million. Nobody's checking whether it was actually worth that. Nobody's requiring disclosure of where the money came from. The art world is notoriously opaque, which is why it's notoriously used for this. You invest in art, you sell later. Clean income. Plus, you get to hang something nice on your wall while you wait. The United Nations estimates that between $800 billion and $2 trillion is laundered globally every year. That's
$2 trillion? Yo, for reference, the world economy is worth like $100 trillion. So that means these MFers, bro, are making 2% of the global economy. My brother, that is insane, bro.
5% of global GDP. Of all the money laundered every year, investigators successfully seize roughly 1%. 1%. Criminals are running a 99% success rate. If any other industry had a 99% success rate, we'd call it a miracle. In crime, they just call it Tuesday.
It's actually insane, bro. 99% success rate for money laundering. What's up, this guy? Anyways, we're about to hop on. Is it here? That's surprising. Right, we're about to hop on some Minecraft Hardcore. Lock in chats. This time around, bro, we are making it at the very least 1 week in Minecraft days. 1 week. And so if every day is 20 minutes, I gotta go for 140 minutes, which is about 2 hours and 20 minutes. So if I survive 2 hours and 20 minutes, I could successfully say that I'm a hardcore Minecraft player. Oh man, I really wish I had an extra $20 so I can buy an NVMe SSD. Maybe not have to wait 10 years for Minecraft to load up every single time. That would be very nice. But no. Hey, might go show you some of my handstands real quick. That's alright. Hold on. I was back doing the crazy because I got bored. Locking. This time, we are not going to be dying. Right, guys? I've died one too many times, man. For 7 days. Mark my words, 7 days from now, I'll be the wealthiest man alive. Now, I remember a while back I used to play Minecraft, right? Actually, I used to watch Minecraft. I used to only have the Bedrock edition of the game. And I was like, damn, bro. I really want to get job on Minecraft. These YouTubers, what they would be doing, right, is they would be playing with mod packs and all that, and I'd be thinking, wow, this is genuinely something. This is generally something I want to do. Second. Or generally something I want to play. Because, like, they had emeralds, they had emerald gear. Oh, my goodness. Okay. Well, I don't know why my game is lagging now. Why my internet's deciding to be crappy. So stupid. Second chat. We have to do a little bit of internet issues. We're having some connection issues for some reason. I can't figure out why. I can't figure out if it's from my game, what it is. But I cannot be playing on slow settings. This right here. But I cannot be playing on slow settings. Testing. This right here. I'm gonna go check my OBS. But I cannot be playing on slow settings. Testing. This right here. I'm gonna go check my OBS. But I cannot be playing on slow settings. How do I fix that? The output maybe? Maybe I want bit rate. Maybe I go on hardware encoder. Recording time deposit, recording body set the same stream. Okay. Let's see, does that change anything? Does that make my stream better? On hardware encoder. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Recording time deposit, recording body set the same stream. Okay. Let's see, does that change anything? Okay, wait, that makes my stream better. On hardware encoder. Okay, there we go. Alright, it's good. Finally got that fixed, man. That was so freaking bad, dude. Like, you guys don't even know. There we go. Alright, it's good. Fixed, man. That was... Alright, it's good. Fixed, man. That was... Alright. Alright, it's good. Fixed, man. That was... Oh my goodness. Why is it keep doing this stupid audio, man? Okay. Alright, there we go. Now I can actually lock in on the game. Hopefully we don't have any more stupid internet issues or anything like that. So I can actually play with some decent graphics. Alright. That would have been bad, man. Woof! Close one. On the first day, too. Imagine I fall in there, though. Like, imagine I somehow just fall in there. Like, that'd be pretty bad. I don't think I will, though. I'm locked in the game. I should probably save proof that anyway. Let's go ahead and explore this a little bit. No! Should take 1 second, chat. I gotta fix my thing. Why the heck is it lagging? And now my phone just fell down too. Stupid, dude. So what I don't like about having my webcam being like on here this way. This makes it kind of bad. Fix it. Make sure everything's good. Check my OBS cam. Alright, it's looking pretty good. Alright. There we go. Okay. Now, hopefully I don't have any more issues. Okay, there, we should actually be good now. Okay. You know, you would think if you would have a whole new PC, this type of thing would have happened, right? You would think. You know, shit. Oh my freaking goodness, dude. If this falls one more time, like I'm actually about to crash out if it falls one more time. Because that's gonna happen. Because it should not be falling this much, dude. It should not be. Like, honestly. Okay. Let me go check my OBS cam to make sure it's working. Alright, there we go. We're good. I don't know why it keeps doing this. I can actually play without any issues. Make a stone axe. We're probably gonna go ahead and explore that cave down there. Cannot breathe. Guys, I might have hantavirus, guys, honestly. If I do, it was really nice knowing y'all. I can't breathe. What the hell was that? Alright. Like a sword as well. You know, I was watching a video on how to commentate in a stream with no viewers. It essentially said, like, don't commentate every action you do. You know what am I doing? Commentating every single thing I do. So, that's like pretty good. You know, I've always had this issue with, like, not following instructions. Like, just kind of going off and doing whatever I want to do, right? You know, it's just never really worked out for me. What is this? I mean, I've had a couple bad incidents, like, let me tell y'all, bro. I remember one time, I was, actually, do I want to say this on stream? Let me think about it. Just get this set up. Make sure everything's done. Do I really want to say this on stream? Do I want to? Oh my goodness. Now why does it want to get poor right when I'm trying to talk? Why? Why? Tell me. Stupid, bro. This is so stupid. I don't know why it just doesn't want to work every single time I'm doing it. Alright, 1 second, chat. I gotta make sure this all works. Like, I just don't understand. 33%, 27% gain. Okay. I don't know if it's the video encoder. I don't know what it is. But let's try software again. Let's see if software fixes it. It's always when I'm gaming. It always is. Yes. What is this? Okay. I'll probably cut this out the main video when it comes out. Let's hear the audio. We'll see if it's working. 33%, 27% gain. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Okay. I don't know if it's the video. There we go. Now we're back to it. Okay, now I can tell my story, and hopefully it doesn't interrupt me again. Alright, okay, so essentially,